Well, hello everybody. It's time again for another exciting edition of Psychic Sundays Live. As you can tell, Sally's not here today. It's just me. Lucky you. I hope you're staying cool wherever you are. It is just a monster here. Hello. Okay, let me see if I can read all of the chat. Good enough. All right. I think I need to adjust the camera a little bit. Alrighty then. So I don't use cards or anything, so there's no table view today, just my ugly face. Yes, I'm trying to blink, but it's not working. All right, who we got next? Who we got first here? Let's see if this is working. Brandon, happy Sunday. It's my birthday today. Hi, Brandon. Happy birthday. Brandon wants to know about August. Guys, we're going to have to do a little bit more specific questions than that today. I do not do general readings at all. Nope. So, sorry, Brandon. Come back with an actual question, please. Have a subject there. Thank you very much. Who is next? SR Kish. All right, how is work going for me? And if I will be done my training soon. Okay, SR Kish, work training. Training, they're telling me 10. I'm not sure if that's 10 days or 10 weeks. It feels more like 10 days. It's going to go well. You're struggling for a little bit. For some reason, there's a couple of things you haven't quite managed to wrap your head around yet. It'll come to you really shortly, though. Once you get that, you're going to go, oh my God, I can't believe it was that simple. Oh, I'm pulling a Sally and talking really fast all of a sudden. Whew. Oh, well, let's see. Blue Snapper. Welcome back, Blue Snapper. Blue Snapper's looking for messages using the runes for the week and how my relationship with my roommate will be. Well, let's address your relationship with your roommate. One of you is packing your bags. And it's them. You have just had it to the point where, like, enough is enough is enough. Get out. And they're going to be at a point where, like, yeah, you're right. This isn't working for either one of us. Initially, the split is going to be quite fiery. But after the blood boil settles, you're going to realize that's the best thing for both of you. And you might even end up being friends, if not just long-term networking connections, which is sometimes even better than a friend. So that was for Blue Snapper. Next we have O'Neill. All right, O'Neill's looking for guidance from Spirit. All right, folks, some of this stuff is coming straight through, okay? So if it gets harsh, it just is. Okay, your guidance from Spirit is, it doesn't matter what we tell you to do, you're not going to do it. It's almost like you want to do the opposite of what we're telling you to do. You can hear us just perfectly fine, you just ignore us. Quit asking others for guidance from us. Just listen and do. Okay, all right. Next we have Dorella. Hi, Dorella. Welcome back. Dorella wants to know, when will I be leaving my current job I'm at and finding something better? You need to reverse those. Find something better and then leave your job. It seems like you're waiting to leave a job for something better coming along down the road. Find something better now. I had a work colleague who, just for the heck of it, threw out some resumes. There was a job opening that they might have qualified, sure. They weren't quite 100% sure if it was the right fit. Well, 3 weeks later, that person was working at her new job, which was a promotion, and it came with more money. Of course, it came with more responsibilities. I saw that person 6 months later, and they were just ecstatic with their new role and the new company. And it's not like the place they left was anything to shake a stick at. That company was amazing. One of the best companies I've ever worked for. Really got employees. There was a few, old-fashioned things like doctor's notes. Come on, corporations, get with the program. The doctors don't want to see any of the patients because they got a cold or a flu. You're just making their other clients sick. All right, so Dorella, as far as time frame is concerned, it's looking about 3 months. The reason it's taking that long is just because you're taking too long to get started with the job search. I realize right now, coming into August and the rest of the summer, job searches are a little bit down. HR departments are sometimes under crunch right now. They got a lot of people on vacation and maybe vacationing themselves as well. Um, yeah, it looks to be about 3 months, but that's usually it looks like you don't actually get started in earnest until the end of August, the beginning of September. Now, let's hope that's not the self-fulfilling prophecy, because I told you you're not going to get started until September. You're going to sit on your ass and do nothing until then. Get your ears out there. Start talking to people. Let people know that, hey, you know what? I might be looking for something different. Never say better. Say different. You're looking for opportunities. You're not looking for better. What's better? Next, we got Slow Deezy. Will I pass the resident adjuster license exam for Geico? It's a difficult test. Yes, you will, but you'll barely sneak by. There is some questions there where you are unsure of the wording, and it's not so much your fault as the person that wrote those questions wasn't quite sure how to word them as either. So good luck with that. If you get to a question where you just go, what are they asking me? Skip ahead. Come back to that. Because as you're working out some other things, you're going to go, oh, that's what they're asking me. Will you pass? Yes, you will, but barely. Yes, it's a difficult test. Some of the test questions are, what's the word I'm looking for? Unnecessarily convoluted. Okay, next we have MBBST. Will my participation in the CABA business program be successful? All right, folks, I need a little bit of a drink here. Just a little soda water today. As far as the CABA business program, will you be successful? Will you be happy with it? No. It's been sold to you in such a way that the reality of what it is and what they're telling you of what it is are not quite the same. Right now, you're interested in what they're telling you what it is, and you're going to do the program, and you're going to be successful in it. But after the fact, you're like, that's not what I thought it was going to be at all. I mean, I'm happy I did it. I did learn stuff. I did meet people, and I did well in the program, but not quite exactly what I was hoping I would end up with at the end. However, guys, keep thinking that all of these business programs and everything like that, networking. It's not a matter of what skills you have. It's about people that know you and go, hey, you know what? That's a good person. They're going to show up. They're going to do the job. If it's difficult, that's fine. They're going to buckle down. They're going to learn it. You might have to give them a little bit of hand here, there, or whatever. All right. So you need those networking connections, and not just an empty handshake and a name that you don't remember and throw away. People love that people remember their names, and do make eye contact, but not so much that it becomes uncomfortable. There's a lot of you out there that are not making any eye contact, and guess what? That's really uncomfortable as well. Now, I know I got a lot of neurodivergents. They're going to come yelling at me going, but. Suck it up. Every now and then, someone's going to look you in the eye, and it's not going to be any kind of a stare, because that's just the way how people are. Moving on to Nabby. Nabby wants to know about the month of August. Nabby, that's a really general question there. Can you come back with something a bit more specific? There's a lot of things going on for you in August. None of them bad. None of them great. Some are good. Mostly are meh. But as you can see, I can't really get you into any specifics because it's just too general of a question. I know you guys are used from Sally doing these general reading questions. She's not here. Moving on to Kara. What's the timing when I'm relocating? 6 weeks. They're telling me 6 weeks, straight up 6 weeks. End of August. Dorella wants to know, is Sally okay? Yeah, she's in the freezer in the basement. I'm just kidding. It's not in the basement. Are you kidding? I can't get that freezer down those rickety stairs. Sally will be back next week. She's decided to visit family. Somebody had to stay back because there's a dog that needs taken care of. Also, I didn't want to go where she was going because they don't miss us. They miss our money. Melons Maloney. Will the locator service find an apartment for me? My credit is not the best. They're not really taking you seriously. It isn't so much the credit as it's kind of like everything. They're not sure about you. They're not sure about your credit. They're not sure if you can afford what you're thinking that you need. They are going to throw some things at you, though. Go, hey, go have a look at this. Go have a look at that. Go have a look at that. It's best you pick one of those and at least get you started. Once you get into a place, it's going to be a little bit. It's one of those things. Well, this is not what I wanted. Oh my God, man, look at all. Oh, that's just not what I want. Who put that over there? Why is that this way? Why is that the other way? Just suck it up. At least you've got a roof over your head. Moving on to Patricia. When will I have another job to supplement my income? Patricia, the image I got was you like an octopus with too many tentacles out there and not quite sure what you're looking for and not like sure what you're supposed to be grabbing. So all your tentacles and all your suckers are just grabbing onto everything and there's no structure. It means that you're unfocused. And it's because of that you're missing some opportunities. You need to slow down a little bit and you need to focus on what it is that you're trying to achieve as far as not just more money. Because there's lots of ways to make more money. I guarantee you there's a restaurant in North America that's not looking for a dishwasher. They quit left and right. But that's not the kind of money you want to be making. So as far as when will you have another job, they're telling me 8 to 12 weeks. The next 3 to 4 weeks is just you gonna be like lining up some ducks kind of thing. Your headspace isn't right in it right now. It's like, yeah, I want another job, but I also want to do this for the next few weeks at least anyway, kind of thing. You know what I'm talking about. It's I know where you live, more or less. So just enjoy the August. Hopefully it's smoke-free where you are. No forest fires for the Americans to complain about. Braveheart is next. All right, time to switch it up with another beverage. Hang on a second, folks. I need a breather for a second. I'll be right back. Okay, back we are. Braveheart. Will I meet any love interests this fall or no? Not with that fucking attitude. Woe me, woe me. Why can't I meet anybody? You're looking at the wrong places and you're looking at the wrong people. There's some self-development you haven't done yet that you really need to do in order to attract somebody who's actually going to be right for your life instead of just somebody you can screw for a while. If you're just looking for somebody to screw for a while, get ready to be screwed over. As simple as that. I'm not trying to be as harsh. I realize that sounds pretty harsh, but you're looking for love in the future. Why aren't you looking for love now? You mean, are you expecting to win the lottery? Where, woohoo, look at that, I got lucky. You got a tall blonde, short brunette, average sized redhead. Gingers! Okay, back to, let's see, Wendy. Wendy wants to know, when will I meet E? 7 weeks. 7 weeks, that takes into about mid-September. It'll be a weekend meeting. You're not really supposed to meet, but you run into each other. It's one of those things where they kind of tagged along for something, knowing that you would be there, and it's not really like they want to surprise you or they're stalking or anything like that. It's one of those, hey, I'm going to this. You want to come along? I heard that Wendy's gonna be there. All right, that sounds all right. Let's give that a shot. How's that? Dorella, when will that happen to me? Oh, Dorella, I don't remember your question. Speak knowledge. When will I start my new job? I had an interview on Friday. Well, they're really dragging their feet on this one. It's like they know they need to hire somebody, but the last few people they've had for this position just didn't work out to the point where they're really disillusioned with getting the right person for the right fit for the job. You are the right fit. They are going to be very happy with you when they do decide to hire you. They haven't made that decision yet. I think there's a couple things you can do to sweeten that deal. Another thing, like a thank you email if you haven't done one yet, or even a handwritten letter or typed up letter. These things, they hold a lot of weight. If you sit down and grab a piece of paper and a pen and you pen a really nice letter just saying thank you and appreciative and this and that, whoever's reading that letter that you've written by hand is going to go, you know what? They took the time to do this. They took the time. It shows, it gives an impression that you care, that you're willing to put in that extra effort. And sometimes the extra effort is all it takes. So go ahead, speak knowledge. Put in the extra effort for a change. You know what I'm talking about. Who is next? Cindy C. Any road trips for me in August? Yes, 3 of them. One is going to be really last minute kind of, hey, let's go. We got time to do this right now. Let's go. But the other 2 are going to be planned a little bit more, but not like extensive long planning. It's more like, hey, I heard about this is going on the weekend over there. You want to go to that? Yeah, sure. Okay, let's go do that. So the last minute one, that's for a couple 3 days. There's going to be one that's just a day trip, and then there's going to be one that's more of a 5-day trip. Okay. Sean G is looking for guidance for the week. Actually, Sean, you're gonna have a good week selling your art, selling what you make. It's gonna be surprising. It's gonna be like, oh, I really like that. I really like that. That's gonna look great on my wall or on my shelf. So it's gonna be a surprise sale, but it's gonna lead to other sales. The person that is buying the art from you really, really likes it, and they're looking forward to putting it in the house, and they're looking forward to showing it off to their friends. And I think as an artist, isn't that the best feeling? To have something on somebody's wall or shelf or a coffee table and go, hey, yeah, this person did this. They live here, work there. I met them at such and such a place. You know yourself, those personal connections for artists are key to getting more sales. And I love the fact that you're doing art for art's sake. MGM stole that one. No, wait a minute. They came up with that one? I forget. MGM, not an Amazon company. Hey. Okay, so moving on to Sarah P saying, stop lying, Olive. Okay, Sarah. Best of luck with that. And in case you're still watching and want to come back, there's an R on my name. Haha. Donna Butler. Still can't seem to pick up any messages from Wyatt. Can you let me know what he's telling me? Wyatt doesn't have any messages for you yet. Wyatt is still adjusting to his new surroundings. It is quite an adjustment for Wyatt. It's not at all what he expected. We're looking, yeah, November, December is when you're gonna start. I don't say hearing, but feeling him around you. It's gonna be little things at first. Um, I get a sense that messages from Wyatt are nice for you to have that connection, but in the long run, don't help you, and he and they know that. But anytime you think of him, he's there. It's the way it works. Especially when there's a song that reminds you of him. Nabby. Oh, that's right. Yeah, coming back with a more specific question. Well, when I have a permanent job, 10 to 12 weeks. It's not the industry that you want it, though, but that's okay. You're going to like it. You're going to like it a lot. It's going to lead you to thinking, hey, you know what? I think I might want to get some more education in this. And I'm not saying you're going to sign up for a college or university, but there's going to be some seminars that you're going to be interested in just because they give you more of a rounded image of your new career, your new industry. Stick with it for a while. Dorella, are dowsing rods accurate? That depends on who's using them. It's as simple as that. Some people can really make those dowsing rods sing, and others, they just spin around willy-nilly. And it's... I have dowsing rods. We've got a bunch of dowsing rods around here. And it's one of those things where not all the dowsing rods connect with me and me with them. But when I do have a set of dowsing rods that I do connect with, they really do sing. They really do speak. It's one of those things, though, where what I perceive as them being very loud, I perceive that way. You might not. Because sometimes we say, oh, that's coming in loud and clear, but it's actually more of a whisper that we're just so used to amplifying in our own head. The best I can always describe this to people is that you have to learn to listen to thoughts you don't recognize on your own, because those are the thoughts, because those are the messages, those are the readings, those are the images and the audio that you get for somebody else. There's information that I get when I'm doing these readings that has absolutely nothing to do with me. It comes through me and then it's gone. That's why I couldn't remember Dorella's reading. Okay. Donna. Facebook is blocking all my videos right now. They don't like me bad-mouthing the orange. Oh, well, just post that South Park video over and over again. Best clip I've seen this decade. I was laughing so loud I had to rewind it a few times because I missed things. If you don't know the clip I'm talking about, I'm sure you'll find it. Cool Libra, will there be any luck and love this year? Yes, there will, but not for you. I'm just kidding. You're looking more for a relationship more than you are for love. You're hoping that love will... You're hoping to get into a relationship where love will grow, where love will bloom. And those are relationships you've had in the past, and they take a really long time for you to realize that this is not it. Will there be any luck and love this year? How about lust for Halloween? I think that's just the best we're going to be able to do right now. Your I don't want to say general attitude, but your outlook on relationships needs tweaking. Okay, Sarah, P, look at that. We are going to block. Haha. Yeah, I have no interest in dealing with somebody like that. Don't worry, folks. We've got our doubters. We always have. Both Sally and I have been prayed over. The last one, though, that was special. Oh, yes, the last one was very special. This woman was extremely upset and extremely irate. And as they were leaving the store that I was in, she muttered, "Well, I'm going to pray for you." And I snapped back, "Don't you fucking dare." Emil, sorry. Didn't mean to screw that up like that. When my recent XS come back into my life to talk, they don't want to talk. They're done talking to you, and that's that. They've moved on, and so do you. What do you want to talk about? The things that didn't work out? Well, you're not getting back together anyway. So it's just idle chit chat. That doesn't benefit anybody. Welcome, Livier. I know I'm messing that name up every week. I'm sorry. Happy Sunday. Yes, it is Sunday. Oh, good morning, India, if anybody from India is joining us. All right. Olivier wants to know, is it a good idea to start a relationship with John? Will he be a good team partner? How many are in this relationship? Every time I hear team partner, is it like open? Are you a team on your own? I'm confused. Will John be a good partner for you? Your expectations are rather high in a partner. You expect them to be mind readers. And it's not that he can't. At some point, he's just going to want to go, why do I got to do all the work in the communicating department here? Pull it back a little. Geez, you're like aggressive and in your face. I know you don't mean to do it like harshly or in an unloving kind of way. That's just your personality. That's how you are. But pull it back a little bit. I know I'm not the first to tell you that. XOXO wants to know, are you a psychic? Yes, I am. I'm also a Reiki practitioner. By psychic, I call myself a clairsentient, which is I get knowledge. Sometimes I get images. Usually when I get images, it's because I have to describe something in such a way that, like if I'm showing an image, I have to describe that image because the person I'm speaking to, the person that's getting that reading, will know the image I'm describing. When I'm getting audio, I have to repeat that audio as verbatim as I can, because that audio, what I'm saying or the noise that I'm hearing, will resonate with the person that's getting the reading. And if you're really, really special, I might pick up a scent. That's a rare one, though. Okay, who we got next? Forever. Is the Divine supporting my print-on-demand business model on Etsy? I read lots of people getting shut down on Etsy with no answers as to what they did wrong. What kind of support are you hoping there from whatever your definition of divine is? I read lots of people getting shut down on Etsy. Where are you reading that? Are you reading that from people's posts on Facebook? You know, they don't get no answers as to what they did wrong. It's my understanding that Etsy recently updated some rules and regulations as to what constitutes original work. So I know there are some people getting shut down because they are not selling originals. They're selling something, somebody else's creation, and they might have manufactured that, but there's It's a legal thing with Etsy. Etsy's trying to cover its ass so they don't get sued. And to be quite honest, I've been on Etsy. I think we've all been on Etsy at some point. It's not what it used to be. I look for something now and I get 37 of the identical thing. That's not what I'm on Etsy for. Yeah, Dorella's right. Give us a like. Okay, hang on a second. I got to read this question from Kelsey Wells over here. Let me pop that up. What we got there? Will I secure a job by September in either sales or marketing? Yes, you will, and it'll be in marketing, and they are going to run you. Oh, my goodness. You're going to have a lot of things thrown at you at once. There's some people whose slack you have to pick up because they didn't do what they said they were going to do and what they're supposed to do. And so the first 3 months are going to be really hectic. Just stick with it because they really like you and they really like the job that you do. Careful, though, that you don't do a job so well that they make somebody else redundant and have you do their job as on top of your job. Because you have a tendency to do that. Don't take on too much. That doesn't help you. It doesn't help the company. You know, you don't want to get burned out just because they're demanding. All right, who we got next? Brother Chris. Oh, yeah, folks, there's obviously no pick a card this week because I ain't got no cards here. Oh, yeah, I do somewhere. I do have a tarot deck, though, that is so complicated to read that I haven't learned it. Both sides of the card are active. It's quite something. Brother Chris, I am worried about Friday with the airport. Should I be worried? No, you shouldn't be worried. Everything is going to be fine, but don't look overly nervous either. You know, they're looking for things that are sketchy. Now, I would never call you sketchy by any means of the imagination. But don't be a nervous Nelly and just looking about nonstop, and like staring at people and stuff like that. You know, you and I are both tall, so we have a tendency to look over top of people anyway. And you and I both also have a tendency to not look down. And some people are really put off by that. But if you do make eye contact with somebody that is airport personnel, just be chill about it. You know, a little smile on your face, a little smirk. You know, nothing that makes you threatening. That's what they're looking for. Things that might be a threat as far as luggage and security and all that. Yeah, you're fine. Okay. All right. So good luck at the airport, Chris. I hope you're going someplace fun. Leo Moon, will I get a vehicle this year? What's wrong with the tricycle you got now? It gets you from point A to point A. All right, let's see. Leo Moon vehicle. I know you're hoping for a car, but it's not quite a car. That doesn't make any sense. It's like almost a car? Does that make sense to you? It's got wheels and it's got a roof. But I wouldn't take it on a rally? Okay, back to Emil. All right, what to expect for myself for the rest of there as though I'm in my healing stage. Yeah, Emil, I'm not quite sure I understand your question. What do I expect for myself in my healing stage? Healing? Frustration is not going faster, but that's just because you're not listening to the people that are telling you, "Yeah, doing fine, you're doing good, keep it up." There's not going to be any setbacks in your healing. Everything's going fine. It's just not going as fast as you want it to. That happens. Nancy Ray, will I stay in Oklahoma for the next 2 years? Actually, the next 4 years. It's just the way it happens. You're not crazy about it right now, but you're going to fall in love with it. And then when you do move in the next 4 years, it's 3.5, 4 years, yeah, it'll be out of necessity to some place that you're also going to love. You're just one of those people that, oh, well, this is home now. Let's make the best of it. As far as being able to afford your new home, I don't see any issue with that. You've got a fairly regular life. You're always expecting the crazy and it never comes. Makes you wonder, maybe you're not living the crazy already. For some people are always expecting crazy, like massive upheaval, not realizing that that's what they've been dealing with their entire life, and that their baseline for crazy, so their baseline for normal is other people's crazy. Okay. SR. Nice to see you as well. Well, actually, I can't see you, so hi. Do I know who you are? Oh, that's okay, folks. You initials. Can you tell me if my daughter and I will reconcile soon? I know you really want to, and you're open to her coming back at any time. She's not sure that that's a good thing for her and for her family. I think your daughter just needs more time. She doesn't hate you all the time. There are definitely times where it's like, oh, I can't stand my mother. Time and age and life will soften her up. Will she be back in your life at some point? Yes. Is it going to be this year? No. Should you stop trying? No. Definitely keep sending birthday cards, Christmas cards, but never with the intent of anything other than, I'm wishing you a happy birthday. I'm wishing you a Merry Christmas. Not ever about anything, but we should talk. Give me a call. Let's get together. Let's have coffee. Let's have lunch. None of that. That's an instant turn off for your daughter. Just say, hey, Merry Christmas. Hope you're having a good life. End of story. Do not attach anything else to that. I know it's going to be tough for you. You're so hoping she comes back to talk to you. But you also got to realize that she's not talking to you for a reason. To her, that reason is very real. To you, that reason might seem over the top. But that should not invalidate how she looks at the situation. Hang on, folks. I need a drink. All right, back we are. Leona, hi. I received an interesting job offer. It's verified and legit. All right, good for you for verifying that. Sometimes the interesting ones do need a little bit. What energies do you see around the position? Sorry if I'm a little hesitant here. I'm not really seeing any energies around the position because you're not putting yourself into that position. You received an interesting job offer, but you're still hemming and hawing as far as I'm not so sure I should take it. As a result, there's no energies for me to pick up on. I don't think you're going to take this job. Like, it really feel like I'm not sorry. Okay, let me clarify. I'm not picking up any energies around this position, around this job offer. Is it a brand new job title where that's never been staffed before, where you're like the first in the position? because that could be what that means, where there's no energies with the position because it's never been done before, which is why you're hesitant to take it, because you don't want to be the one that has to build. You'd rather just go into a place and, oh yeah, this is what we do. Great. All right, let me do it. Whereas it feels more like this position is like, what do you want me to do? I'm not quite sure I understand what. Can you, what? Kind of thing. It's like they know what, there's a communication breakdown between the people that have created this position and the persons that are going to be doing this position. I don't think that's you. I think this is going to be much too convoluted for you and not easygoing enough. Do you like challenges? Yes, but with a goal. And there seems to be no goal for this position. I mean, even a peg on a ship has its purpose. Blah, blah, too. Do I have psychic ability? And if so, how can I develop it more? Well, blah, blah, too. I'm sure you've heard this many, many times, and I'm sure I'm going to say it again. Meditation. Meditation is difficult at first, but there are different types of meditation. There's different types of medication, too, and I took mine. Everybody thinks meditation is something that, oh, I gotta be sitting in this position in the dark room for like half an hour. Pick a chair, anywhere. Close your eyes. 3 minutes. There you go. It's about centering yourself. If you can do more than center yourself, that comes with practice of meditation. But initially, the thing about meditation is just about centering yourself. Just pulling in. And as you're doing that, you're also pulling in your environment. You're sitting there for those 3 minutes, you're centering yourself, and you're pulling in the smells around you, the sounds around you. If you've got your eyes open, the sights around you. If you're outside, there might be a breeze or some other sensation on your skin that lets you feel something. You might actually be outside someplace near a factory where the air literally tastes bad. Those are all good things. Become aware of those things and acknowledge them, and then bring them within yourself, because that is your environment. You're trying to ground yourself in your environment. You're not trying to ground yourself in some fantasy. That's not grounding. That's flight. As far as how can I develop the psychic ability? Well, as I've said before, it's really hard for me to describe some of this stuff because I've been doing it for so long and I'm not a great teacher in this. You have to learn to listen to thoughts you don't recognize as your own. If you start like talking to somebody and something pops in your head and you go, what? Where did that come from? Where did that come from? There you go. Thank you. That's the one. If you're having a conversation, all of a sudden some thought pops in your head that's got absolutely nothing to do with what you're talking about or anything in your life or anything in your family's life, but it's just information that popped in. There you go. That's a message. That's you picking up on something that isn't yours. What you do with that something, that's up to you. New love. Hello, I also wonder if I have psychic abilities. What are they in that case? Psychic ability. Everybody has some type of psychic abilities. Some people develop them more. Some people are more naturally adapt to it than others. The whole thing about... Sorry, I'm trying to not throw magic into the mix here. The two definitely go hand in hand at times as far as the visualization goes, and the meditation and the centering and the intent. That's one of the things with doing readings. There's an intent there. Look, I do the same thing when I do Reiki. If you ever get a Reiki session with me and you've had Reiki from other people before, you might be quite surprised. I don't approach Reiki in the same fashion as others do. To me, Reiki is a living force, and it's self-conscious, and it goes where it needs to go. And I'm only the faucet. I have never once called myself a Reiki healer, nor do I call Reiki healing therapy or energy healing. Some people refer to it as energy healing. Yes, you're working with energy. Yes, I'm transmitting energy to you. And that energy goes and does what it needs to do. It knows where it needs to go. It knows what you need help with. I don't. I'm just a faucet there. It's quite a trip for me because I get a lot of this Reiki energy just flowing through me, and of course, as it's flowing through me, it's the pipes are getting clean just the way that you have water thrown through a garden hose. There might be some buildup in that garden hose before you turn it on, but that water is going to clean all of that out. Same thing with Reiki. How does that relate to psychic abilities? You're clearing out the crap that's in the hose when you develop psychic abilities. In this case, though, you're not letting energy flow out of you. You're bringing energy into you. You're bringing information and thoughts and sensations into you. A lot of people say, oh, well, all this psychic stuff, it's all made up. It's imagination. Yes, and? If imagination was such a terrible thing, if imagination was so unproductive, unhelpful, irreverent, why did we start imagining things right from the get-go? That should tell you something right there. We use our imagination right from birth. And don't you think there's a reason for that? So you have to kind of channel that imagination. Some people are able to channel that into very artistic things or musical things. And some people are able to channel that imagination into sports, where you imagine yourself on the podium, where you imagine yourself beating a world record. Those are the things that make life happen. Vision boards are also just about imagining things, right? You have to imagine your own future. And if you imagine that you want to be more psychic, if you imagine that you can do readings the same way that Sally and I can do readings, or that so many other people can do readings, then imagine that. All right, folks, I'm sorry. I know I'm looking into the camera very much today. Sally's definitely got a better handle on that than I do. Meditation, meditation, meditation. And I got to tell you, I'm not the best at it, and I drag my feet on it. But after a while after decades of meditating, you find something that works for you quickly and easily. And once you got that, things just become easier. Things just fall into place easier. I think there's a misconception among some people where psychics see and sense and hear everything very boldly, very loudly, the same way that you're hearing me with your ears right now, and the same way that my hand would feel when I slap the table. That's not it. If you're expecting to get hit over the head with a baseball bat to get the information for somebody else, that's not it. It's not a wave, it's a trickle. Well, what else we got going on? All right, let's see what's going on in the chat here. What have I missed? Oh, Sally's here, but oh, hi, Sally. Okay. All right. Let's see. Do we have any questions that didn't get a question mark? I think we got everybody. Well, what else you got, folks? Oh, look at all that. That's sweet. All those emojis. Just for me. I'm liking this camera setup there. I'm using the cell phone so I didn't have to mess around with the other camera and the height adjustment. Sally stands a bit shorter than I do, like 14 inches. Sally and I walking hand in hand. It looks more like I'm dragging a child around. I said, come here. All right, folks. I think anybody else got any questions? Otherwise, I'm going to call it a day. 1, 2, last chance. All right, well, have a good night, everybody. I know it's been a fun evening. I know my throat hurts a little bit from all the talking I did today, the last hour. Not because I was yelling at the kids out the backyard. Oh, no, wait a minute. There's no kids and there's no backyard. I must have been dreaming that just like I did that trailer park. Yeah. Hey, baby, 260K, not 150. Okay. All right, then. I'm calling it a day.